On the first day of 2025, President Bola Tinubu reassured Nigerians of his administration's commitment to intensify efforts to lower costs by boosting food production, among other things. His target was to reduce overhead inflation from 34.6% to 15%, a target which has been hit as headline inflation for November 2025 dropped to 14.45%.
Money supply reduced, exchange rate reduced, the price of petrol, which drives petrol and diesel, also dropped.
The administration received a lot of applause during the year for progress in macroeconomy. For instance, the gross domestic product grew from 3.84% in the fourth quarter of 2024 to 3.9% in the third quarter of the year. Rebasing the GDP brought higher contribution of the services sector to the fore, indicating a level of progress in the effort to diversify the economy. The year was a period of relative exchange rate stability, where the naira was valued at below 1,500 naira for a dollar for most parts of the year. A lot of this has been attributed to the decisions and interventions of the central bank.
We have a competitive currency, and it's something that you will hear me talk about over and over and over again.
Presented by the chairman of the MPC. The Monetary Policy Committee took tightened stance most of the year and only cut the monetary policy rate by 50 basis points to 27.0% in September, and that was the first cut since 2020. These actions and decisions, many economists believe, have placed the economy in a better state than it started the year with. There are even more pleasant memories in 2025. Top on the list is Nigeria's status changing to a country that now exports refined petroleum products, and that's thanks to Dangote refinery and petrochemicals. Records indicate that as of December 2025, daily production from the refinery is between 40 and 45 million liters of petrol, and still in that sector, crude oil losses dropped to an average of 9,600 barrels per day between January and July 2025. That's a significant reduction from the 102,000 level that we had in 2021. Nigeria was also removed from the Financial Action Task Force grey list, improving investors' confidence in the country. Nigeria's equity market brings another positive story for 2025. It started in January at 102,926.40. Investors' interest in the market continued until it peaked in October, when the all-share index was at 154,126.5 points. About a month later, investor sentiment reversed, and the market experienced the biggest single-day drop in what has now been termed a bruising single-day crash, where the market lost approximately 4.6 trillion naira in valuation. This was partly attributed to misconceptions on the capital gains tax. Translating the gains to the micro level is expected to be a priority for 2026, captured in the spending plan for the year, one which President Bola Tinubu has submitted in a 58.18 trillion naira appropriation bill.
By March 31st, 2026, all capital liabilities from previous years will be fully funded and closed.
Even for the budget, there are concerns on the parameters proposed in the 2026 bill, with the question of it being realistic and the need for more attention on debt management in the coming year, especially with an expected deficit of 23.85 trillion naira.
Who owns 49% of a 6-train LNG plant and goes to Eurobonds to be borrowing $2,000? The world will be looking at you. You own 49% of a 6-train LNG plant, and you are capping and looking for you are borrowing at 9%. So let's get up. We don't need to borrow one dime. We don't need to tax anybody. Let's make Nigeria's assets generate revenue for Nigeria.
Another prominent conversation in 2025, which will spill over to 2026, is a tax reform.
The whole idea being to try and promote economic growth, inclusivity, as well as shared prosperity for our people.
Equally important in 2026, according to economist and Chief Executive Officer of Financial Derivatives Company, Mr. Bismarck Ruwani, is the possibility that focus may be divided.
So the whole electoral process is expensive because the stakes are very high.
Well, it looks like 2026 will be an even more eventful year, especially as political leaders may give more attention to their ambitions ahead of the general elections in 2027. While, on the other hand, the people are anticipating more gains from the reforms, especially at the microeconomy level. I wonder which one will have prominence and what the story will be by December 2026. I'm Ini John Mekwa reporting for Channels Television News.